Okay, I'm gonna see if I'm streaming here. Maybe I am. Let me figure out how to pull the chat up. There we go. So if anybody's here, I can see it. Um, I probably can't hear you, but I was just going to continue the game from. Uh, okay, good. I'm loud and clear. Let me pull this up on my other. Uh, what in the world? Okay, part two. Here we go. Okay, sound is off, and I'm loud and clear. So, and there's my wife hollering in the background. I don't know if that comes through or not. We call that the peanut gallery. At least when I was in high school, I was told if a guard drove the lane, that's where they should end up, in the peanut gallery. It was a kinder, gentler game then. Okay, so first and 10, Bears have the ball at the 35-yard line. They got 65 yards to go to score. 8:30 left on the clock. So we are going to run Caceres, and we're going to run him inside. One thing I didn't explain was my thinking behind rolling the dice for a short pass or a medium pass for the receiver. I look at that as like a check down. So that's why I use the allocation to pick receivers. But I do enjoy calling plays. So that's why I call the running backs for the running plays. And that's why I just call the pass plays, but I don't necessarily call the receivers. So anyway, I figure this will probably take another hour and a half. I've got the red zone up here. Bucks and Seahawks are tied at 35 with 20 something seconds left. Fourth down, fourth quarter, second 11. Looks like the Redskins are up 20-10 on the Chargers. The Cardinals are up on the Titans 21-18. So anyway, and the Yankees are getting beat 13-11. So if they can get a touchdown and kick the extra point, they can go ahead. But they're playing baseball. So let's go with the run play. That's tilted. So we're going to roll that one again. That is a 61 for the Bears on a run play. That's a BS. 23 is the result. That is a 35. Man, I've been getting the penalty numbers. That's a 1 TE. So I'm going to roll my penalty number up here. That is 34 on TE is a 10. Illegal motion offense. We'll take that penalty. So we're going to go 5-yard penalty against the Bears. Type of penalty. What I say that was? What's that? 34. It's a 10. Illegal motion. And we're going to replay first down. So it's first and 15. Let's do a outside run to Gallimore. Outside run to Gallimore. And I realize when I call a result, when I click on run, pass, quarterback sack, penalty, punt, or field goal, that next screen that pops up doesn't show up. So I could have it show up, but it would take a lot of extra work and make this even longer. Not going to do it. Okay, 33 is 24 BS. outside run BS, and 24 is the 33 result play. That is a F16. So let's pull up the F column. F16. Okay, come on here. I need to put tabs on this book. Okay, F16. So we're going to roll that up here on the Pro Football Helper. That is a 64. So that is a 2D4. So we're going to run play by Gallimore. He made 2 yards and he fumbled the ball and the Rams recovered. So D2 recovered the ball. That is the nose tackle. D2 is Strugar for the Rams. Strugar. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. He did not have a fumble number. You know, these are the 1988 version of the 58. I wanted to play with the new book. I didn't want to play with the original 58 cards, but so that's why I picked these cards. But I also have the latest, I think from 2000. I don't know, I could pull it up. But anyway, so he doesn't have a fumble return number, so I'm just going to give him the, let's see here, Strugar. We'll say 0 yards, and that's change of possession, so that's a 15-yard play. Okay, so the Rams have the ball. They're not that far out of field goal range, so let's run some. Let's do a outside run to Arnett. So I'm going to roll the 4 dice here. Pick the dice up with the wrong hand. Okay, that is a 13 for the Rams is a BS. So that's on the 32-yard line. That's up here. 33 is a 5. BS fourth quarter. That is a 12-yard gain for Arnett. So run Arnett 12. First down. Okay, so let's do let's run to Marconi. We're going to do an inside run to Marconi. That's up here between the defensive teams 10 and 30. Got 7.5 minutes left. Okay, so that's a 63 is BD, and 45 is a 14. Oh, F23. F23. So let's see what number that is. F23. That's over here. Let's do the number up here. That's a 13. Oh, 5-yard gain. 03 recovered. So that was a run to Marconi. 5-yard gain. The Rams recover. And who did I say recovered? 03. So that was Putnam recovered. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a, well, that wasn't Putnam, that was Richter that recovered. Richter recovered. He doesn't, none of these cards have fumble recovery numbers. So I'm just going to say he fell on it and just be consistent. So fumble recovery, Richter, 0, and they kept the ball, so that was a 30-yard play. So that's 2nd and 5 on the 15. So the Rams kept the ball. Let's go back to Wilson on an outside run. Okay. Wilson on an outside run. That's up here. I missed the dice tower. Well, I missed it there too, but okay. So 43 is BD. That's over here. And 42 is a 19 BD. That's a 5-yard gain for Wilson. Run. Wilson, 5-yard gain. That's full play. So that's first down for the Rams. 1st and 10. Let's do a short pass. The Bears shouldn't be expecting that. And I like to use my all 6 dice because I'm getting so good at throwing these things into the... Is that camera even working? You know, I have no idea. Let me check this here. Okay, I stick my hand under there and I see nothing. So, oh wow. The Peanut Gallery is commenting on my video. I'd like to point that out. Let me go over here and see if everything's working okay with that. Let's go there. Let's go match the output. Okay, so y'all haven't been... Well, there we go. Is that working? Yeah, that's working. Okay, so I can just make that a little bigger, maybe. Let me move this up. Okay. Well, you ought to be able to see the dice there. That's a little bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I dropped a die. And there we go. Which one did I drop? I dropped my marbled... Don't you know I dropped the smallest... Okay. You know, if it's not one thing, it's your mother. Okay, so... I don't even know where my flashlight is. The dog is not helping me retrieve the die. A lot of good he's doing me. Okay. Well, this is called a interruption of some level. In my old decrepit age, if I have to get down here and hunt for this die, that is not going to end well for me, and I know that. Oh, wait a minute. Well, oh, I do have a long cord on my headphone. Okay, well, I don't see anything out here. I scared the dog. Okay, it's desperate times call for desperate measures. My idea of a desperate measure is getting down on all fours and looking for this die. Is that it? No, that's not it. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. I found it. Oh. Okay. Short pass. 1st and 10 on the 10-yard line. So that was not pleasant, by the way. Okay, so we have 54 is AG. 24 is Phillips. He's an A, so that keeps us in the A. And the result is a 12, which is a 29. That is a -9-yard sack. Okay. Quarterback sack. So that is Billy Wade, -9. And I got a roll for the sacker. And that is a 45, which a sack 45 is George. So let's go down here, and that would be Bill George with the sack. So we're now 2nd and 19. So now we're going to pass out of desperation. Second, actually, yeah, we're going to pass because the Rams passed a lot. They had a good quarterback. Okay, 63 is BG. 12 is Schaffner, so that moves them up to the A index. So that's AG. The play result is a 51. That is a 10. AG 10, 4th quarter. That is a 6-yard gain. So that's pass. Wade, Schaffner, 6. Complete. Okay, so that's 3rd and 13. We're going to do an outside run to Arnett. So I do not need the marble or the pink. So I'm going to do these two to Arnett outside run, and that's from the 13, so we're in that box up there. Okay, so 65 is a AS. 32 is the result. That is a 25. AS, 0 yards. So that's Arnett. Run 0, full play. And we're going to kick the field goal. Field goal by, I think that's Paige Cawthorn. Yeah, Paige Cawthorn. Field goal. That is a 20-yard field goal attempt. Okay. So I'll roll these 4 die just in case there's a penalty of some sort. 56 is a 9. 20-yard field goal, 4th quarter. 9 is, oh, look at this. It is good from 21 yards. So that is good from 21. That's a half play. Booyah. Must enter the kicker. I get excited. I just can't hide it, to quote the Pointer Sisters. Very musical, very musical. Okay, so the Rams are up 23-20. I think in real life they got hammered in this game. So we got Michaels kicking off. And Michaels kickoff. Okay, so I'm rolling these two die again. I'm already on the kickoff page. Okay. So we got 43 is the kick. That's a 25. That is a touchback. So we'll just say he's kicking off from the 40. So we'll say it went 65 yards. And kickoff return, we're just going to call their returner is Morris, I think. Yeah, Morris is the OA. And we're going to say 0. He will not try to bring it out of the end zone. So it's the Bears ball at the 20 with 4:45 left in the quarter. Okay, so this is typical Bears football. Let's go Caceres. We're going to go inside run. Caceres. Okay, we got 56 is a AS. He's on the 20-yard line. That's AS. Result is 63. That's a 20. AS, that's 1 yard gain. Run. Caceres, 1 yard gain. Full play. Okay, so we're going to have to, I think we're going to need to pass the ball. Let's go, let's go medium pass, I guess. We'll go medium pass with Chuck Ed. Oops. Oh, I saw it that time. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to roll these through the dice tray tower. Okay, so we got that one's tilted. That one's tilted. So we're going to roll those two again. Okay, so we got a 56 on a pass play is AS. That is up here. AS. The receiver is 22, and that is Anderson. He's a C index, so that'll move him down to BS index. 44 is the result. That is a 6 for... No, that's McCall. They stay in the A index, right? Yeah, 22. AS. A index is McCall. And that was a 6. 27 yards. Pass. Okay, so that'll be Ed Brown to McCall. 27 yards. Complete. 30 seconds off the clock. And they are at the 48-yard line. So we're going to go Gallimore. Outside run. And we're still in the 15 to 31. I don't need those two dice, so we'll stick those up there. So, yeah, you can still see you can still see the dice tray. Okay, so that's a 44, which is AG. And that is a 24 result, which is a 33. That is not good. 33 is F16. Okay, F16, that is right here. Let's roll for the result. That is a 65 minus 6 D1. So Gallimore carried it. Minus 6 and fumbled, and the Rams recovered the ball. And who did I say recovered that? D1, which is Lou Michaels. He does not have fumble return numbers. I should have looked it up on Football Reference, done it that way, but we're just going to say a 0-yard return, Lou Michaels, 15-yard play, change of possession. So that's 3:30 Rams ball. Okay. So we're going to go, let's go inside run to Wilson. Okay, inside run to Wilson. We got 1st and 10 on the 42 and 3:30 left. Okay, so 33 is BG. The result is a 21. That is a 22. So that is a 2-yard gain for Wilson. That's run. Wilson, 2-yard gain. That's a full play. Okay, so we're going to go outside run to Arnett. That is down here. Outside run to Arnett. Okay, that's a 43. That is a BD. And 23 result is a 27. That is a 0-yard run. Arnett, 0 yards and another full play. Okay, 3rd and 8. Well, I'm going to do a short pass. Well, you know what? I'm on the 40-yard line. Let's do I'm going to do a inside run to Marconi. That'll take me down to the 2-minute warning. And if I get the first down, the Bears can stop the clock with their timeouts, but they're going to be up against it. So Marconi inside run. That is this column here. I know that one didn't go in, so let me pull that one back up. Okay, so we got a 41 is AS, and 26 is a 31. That is RP3. So let's go to the rare play. RP3, that is up here. We're going to roll the die here on the Pro Football Helper, and that will be a 30. That'll be a 7. So 7 is a broken play. Quarterback keeps the ball and loses 5 yards. Okay, so that's a run play. Billy Wade, -5, and that'll be another full play. So that takes me down to the 2-minute warning. And the Bears are going to punt the ball, or the Rams are going to punt the ball, and Del Schaffner is the punter. So hopefully he can pin the Bears back up against their goal line so they have that much further to go. So Bears, Schaffner, kicker for the Rams. That is a 46, which is a 35, don't you know? They are over here, defensive 45, so that's a 35. That is a 24, down at the 24, TZ. downed at the 24 TZ. So let's see what that is. That's a penalty. I'm going to use my other roll here for the penalty number. That'll be 51 DZ 8. Illegal block offense, 10 yards from the line or possession. On kickoff returns, yeah, this wasn't a kickoff return. So illegal block offense. So let me go back to on the kick, see how that plays. Offense. Offense kicks, defense receives. So that's on the Bears. I mean, it's on the Rams because they were the kicking team. So down at the 24, I'm not a big aficionado of football rules. So that would be a 21-yard kick. Wait a minute, cancel. Let's go punt. Schaffner, 21 yards. We're going, for all intents and purposes, the ball went out of bounds because they downed it. Is that an option? View all. We're going to say 21 yards. Yeah, we're just going to say they downed it. That's the same as going out of bounds, right? Well, let me see what my options are. If I do that, and then I do punt return, I can go 0 yards. Let's it roll. Okay, so I'm just going to say it didn't roll anywhere. And it was 15 yards for the kick. Morris was the returner. Okay, so then there was a penalty, and that was a 10-yard penalty against the Rams. And what was that, illegal block? 0 on the clock. Penalty is illegal block, so I don't have to do anything else. Illegal contact, I guess. We'll say illegal contact. So it should be the Bears ball at the 34. Okay, Bears ball 34 with 1:45 left. So let's go Brown. Let's go short pass. Brown. And this is where the check down system, I really like it because I can't just throw to my A receivers at the end of the game. I mean, if they're covered, the quarterback's going to check down and throw it somewhere else. So I really like that. Okay, so we have 62 on a pass play is AS. That is down here, AS. 14 on the Bears is Morris. He's a C, so that drops him down to BS. And 32 is the result. That is a 20. That is an incomplete. So that's pass. Brown to Morris, incomplete. 15 yards. Okay, so they got a minute and a half left. We're going to need to go medium passes here. We got our timeouts, but we're going to go medium. And that'll be up here on the 15 to 31. Offense is 15 to defense is 31 yard line. So that one's leaning. Okay, so we got a 13. That is BS. We got a 56 is the receiver. That is Caceres. He's an A, so that moves us up to an A index. The result is a 62. That is a 22. That is incomplete. So that's another incomplete pass. So that's Brown, Caceres, incomplete, 15-yard play. Okay, so we're going to go medium pass again. I mean, I think he completed 46% of his passes, maybe. I mean, he wasn't a crazy good passer. Okay, so what we got here? We got 65 is AS. 24 is, that's McCall. That keeps it in the A column. 45 is a 12. Let's see, A column. Oh, that's incomplete. That's another incomplete pass. Okay, that's Brown, McCall, incomplete. Another 15. So I got a minute left. 4th and 10 from the 34. We got to go for it. So let's go Ed Brown. Okay, that one's leaning. Okay, 34 is AG. Well, that's a break. 45 is the receiver. That is Jewett. He's a C, so that drops him down to BG. And 14 is an 18. That's not good. That's going to be incomplete. Okay, incomplete. So that's another. See, that's where the check down really gets you. Because. So he checked down to Jewett. Another incomplete. 15-yard turnover on down. So now it's the Rams' ball. Now, I got 45 seconds left, so I'm going to call running plays. And I am going to. I haven't looked at the number of plays yet, but I'm thinking we're going to, 10 plays will give the. We'll go 9 seconds of play, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. So we're going to go Arnett inside, outside run. Arnett outside run. And I'm not a take a knee guy. They're on the 34 outside run. Arnett, I do not need those two. So we're going to roll these die here. Okay, so that is a 63, which is BD. I probably just should put everything on G because the Bears know they're running the ball. 61 is a result. That's a 20. That is a 4-yard gain. So that was Arnett run, 4-yard gain. Arnett to 4. We're going to call that a half play because the Bears are going to call timeout. And I'm going to put 6 seconds back on the clock. So that's 36 seconds left. We're going to go inside run to Wilson. Let's see, that is on the 30-yard line. I'm dropping everything. And I don't have my other lights on in here, so I can't see diddly. Well, let me get my phone out here and turn the light on it. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it was under the edge of my desk. Okay. Okay, so we're 30-yard line. And we're doing an inside run to Wilson. Okay. So that is a 31, which is a CS. We're going to go CG. And a 55 is a 16 CG. That's a 4-yard gain. Run. Wilson, 4-yard gain. 15 seconds. I'm going to call timeout Bears. And that puts, that's another 9 seconds off the clock. So we're going to go back to Arnett. Marconi fumbled last time. What is Thomas? Thomas is listed as a halfback. I don't want to run him. 07's a tight end. And I've got him as kind of the backup tight end, although they probably went a full house backfield or something when they were running the clock. We'll go inside run to Thomas. I haven't looked this over to, oh no, I'm not going to run him. He's got 2. Let's see, 2. He's got at least 2 fumble numbers. I don't see a half number, but he's got 2 full fumble numbers. So we're not running to him. We're going to go to Arnett, outside run. We can go inside run to Arnett. Inside run to Arnett. That's from the 26. Okay. So we got a 13 is BS. We're going to go BG. A 35 is a 7. BG. 7 is -1. Oh, look at the Bears. So the Bears got him for a -1. That was Arnett. That's a 15 seconds off the clock. We're going to call their last timeout. Put 6 back on the clock. So there's 18 seconds left. 27-yard field goal. 4th and 3. We'll kick the field goal. We'll kick the field goal. So that'll be back to, I think, Paige Cawthorn. Okay, that's a 34-yard field goal attempt. And like I say, I roll 4 die on this. So that is a 34, which is a 9. 34 yards, 9 is no good. So in up to 1973, all misses. Let's see, goalpost, or I believe all misses are awarded at the 20-yard line. So the Bears get the ball at the 20-yard line. We're going to say that took, we'll say it was a 5-second kick. Oh, got to enter the kicker. Sorry about that. Cawthorn. Okay, so it's the Bears' ball on their 20-yard line, so the Bears are going to have to do a long pass. And they're out of timeout, so this will probably be the last play of the game. But you kind of saw how I did the timeouts. It's kind of my own discretion. And then I'll look at the number of play calls when I'm done with this. Okay, so, well, that's leaning. Okay, that's a 42 is a CS. Let's see, offensive teams. Yeah, they're on. Okay, they're CS. They're over here on this index. 35 means it goes to Hill. No, yeah, Hill. He's a B, so that moves him up to B index. So BS. And play result is 52. That's not good. That's going to be 20, which is incomplete. So that'll be a pass play. Brown to Hill. How much time was on the clock? 13. What do you think? 12 second? 10, 2. We'll give him a 12-second pass play on that. So there's 1 second left on the clock, and we're going to do another long pass. My game, my way, right? And I like potential excitement. So let's see. We got a 45 is BS. To 41 is the receiver. That's Hill again. He's a B, so we're staying in B. And the play result is 23. That is a 33. That is a F48, which I don't think that's going to be anything good for the Bears. So F48. We're going to go 14 minus 7 D3. So we're going to say quarterback sack minus 7 yards. That's Jim Ed Brown minus 7. And the sack was 53, which is... Oh, that's Fuller. He's a backup. So they had him in on the last play. Fuller got the sack. And that takes 1 second off the clock. And that's going to be the end of the game. So the Rams win 23-20. And let me pull up game reports. Update all stats. Okay, so that's updating. Okay, close. We got a game file and a play-by-play log. So let's pull up game reports. I guess that's what I want. Box score. Here we go. So we're going to go box score, and I'll bring this up here so we can look at it together. Let's put that over there. Is there a way to make this bigger? Guess not. Is that showing up at all? Hold on, let me get rid of that one. That is a window capture. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. You know what? Let's not get rid of it, because that way I won't have to. Okay. See, I figured that out. What do you know? So, team records are in the game, 0-0. Yeah, the Bears jumped out ahead, got 2 field goals, and then the Rams got the, what'd they get? Well, let's see here. The Rams got a touchdown, and the extra point was blocked. But George Blanda he had 2 field goals, 2 extra points. So he had 8 points for the game. Barnes had an interception return. Ed Brown had a 58-yard pass to Caceres. Uh, Billy Wade had a 58-yard pass to Arnett. Then he had a 66-yard pass to Clark. And then Tommy Wilson had a 1-yard run. So here's what I want to look at. Total plays. The Rams had 26 passes, 34 runs, so that was 60 plays. The Bears had 45 and 20, so that was 65 plays. So that's 125 plays for the game. So that's not totally unreasonable for a play total back in the 50s. Passing yards, the Rams had 128, the Bears had 123. The Rams were 14 for 26 with 2 interceptions. The Bears were 7 for 20 with no interceptions. The Bears ran the ball 45 times for 170, 3.8 yards per rush. The Rams ran it 34 times for 140, that's 4.1 yards. That's not unreasonable. The Rams had 16 first down. The Bears had 17. The Rams had 8 on runs, 7 on passes, 1 on penalty. The Bears had 10 on runs, 4 on passes, and 3 on penalties. Yards per completion, the Bears were 17.6 per completion. The Rams were 16.3. The Rams had 7 penalties for 40 yards. The Bears had 8 penalties for 67. The Rams got sacked 4 times for 14 yards. The Bears got sacked twice for 16. Total yards, 352 for the Rams, 279 for the Bears. The Rams fumbled twice, didn't lose any. The Bears fumbled twice, lost both of them. The Rams were 2 for 1 on field goal attempts. The Bears were 2 for 2. Punts, the Rams punted 8 times for 38.4 average. The Bears punted 7 times for a 42.3 average. Punt returns, the Bears returned 5 for 9 yards for 1.8 per return. The Rams returned 3 for 2 yards for 0.7. Kickoff returns, the Rams returned 3 for 44 yards for 14.7. The Bears returned 2 for 59 for 29.5. Third down efficiency, the Rams were 2 for 13 for 15%. The Bears were 5 for 16 for 31%. Fourth down, the Rams didn't go for it, and the Bears were 0 for 1, that last play there. Let's see, times in the red zone. The Rams were in the red zone twice, got 9 points, 1 touchdown. The Bears were in the red zone twice, got 6 points, no touchdowns, obviously 2 field goals. Time of possession was 28-17 for the Rams and 31-43 for the Bears. Of course, 10 more running plays. That's perfectly understandable. Rushing, Arnett averaged 4.9, Marconi averaged 2.3, Wilson 4.4, Ron Waller 1 yard. Passing, Billy Wade was 53.8. He had a 77.1 quarterback rating. Marconi caught 3 passes. Arnett 1 for 58 for a TD. Tommy Wilson 1 for 14. Red Phillips 2 for 23. Lamar Lundy 2 for 13. Leon Clark 2 for 68. Schaffner was 3 for 29. And that's how many targets they had Lamar Lundy was targeted 6 times and only caught 2. So that always interests me, and that shows down here as well. Fumble recoveries: Marconi recovered 1, Billy Wade recovered 1. Um, let's or oh that's who fumbled it. I'm sure the recoveries down here on the defense are on the further down. Quarterback sacks: the Rams, like I said, had 4 sacks. Fuller had 2, and he was a backup. But number comes up, your number comes up. They had no interceptions. A little bit of kickoff returns. Not much to speak for. Punt returns, fumble returns. Fry, Struger, Richter, and Michaels all recovered fumbles. Schaffner did okay punting. Like I said, Wade and Marconi had fumbles. Uh, Extra points. He had 2 extra points attempted, 2 made, and 1 was blocked. So I guess I don't know how stats work for that. Caceres was 23 for 50 for 2.2 average, and he was a 5. As you see over here, Caceres is a 5, so he's all pro. Rams must have focused on him. Gallimore had 5.1. Morris had 5.5 with only 2 runs. Caroline was 1 for 23, 23-yard average. Passing: Ed Brown was he had a 73.5 quarterback rating. You can look at the targets here. McCall was an A, and he had 5 targets, only caught 2 of them. Nobody else caught more than 1. And Jewett didn't catch any. He was only targeted 1 time. The other guys, all caught 1 except for McCall, who caught 2. Caceres had 58 for the 1 TD. Wow, Gallimore had both fumbles and lost both of them. Atkins and Bill George both had sacks. Barnes and Sumner had interception returns. Barnes had an 85-yard interception return. There's kickoff returns, punt returns, a couple fair catches. Let's see here. Punting: Ed Brown did okay punting. George Blanda, he had a pretty good game. And that goes into abbreviations and statistics by quarter. For the Rams up here, then for the Bears. And so that was pretty interesting. I enjoy keeping track of the stats. That's a lot of fun. So anyway, that's how I play the game. Like I say, everything's pretty well um, you know I enjoy calling offensive plays. Like I say, the receivers is basically my version of a check down system. And I see Kevin checked in for a minute. Um, but anyway, thanks to Ron and Kevin for checking in, and then my wife. Um, but if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I just wanted to finish out this fourth quarter. So, and also congrats to the Blue Jays for beating the Yankees. So I believe that's a best of 3, and the Blue Jays are up 2-1. So I guess there's a chance the Blue Jays can come back with Gossman, but looks like they got a good chance of moving to the ALCS, and then the Mariners and Tigers are starting here shortly, so I'll probably pay attention to that. Anyway, if you got any questions, leave them in the comment. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. So long.